Okay. So the time is 7:07. I call this meeting to order. May I have a roll call, please?
Councilmember Tyne, White,
Yes.
Richard,
Yes.
Oliver,
Yes.
Hendricks,
Here.
Bertano,
Here, I'm sorry. Here.
Bertano, Mayor Samuel.
Here. Next item on the agenda is approval of the agenda. Are there any changes to tonight's agenda? Hearing none, the agenda will stand as presented. We'll move on to item 3, approval of the consent agenda, which is 3.1, minutes of regular meeting of July 7, 2026. 3.2, approval of bill list dated July 16, 2026, and payroll ledger dated July 10th, 2026. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
A second,
Second.
roll call, please.
Councilmember Oliver,
Yes.
Richard,
Yes.
Bertano,
Yes.
Hendricks,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Mayor Samuel.
Yes. Okay, we'll move on to item 4, citizen comments. Citizens are asked to limit their comments to 3 minutes. Council will take comments into consideration but will not make decisions at this time. Council will not engage in back and forth dialogue but may respond to a speaker with brief factual information or refer the speaker to the town manager to arrange a meeting with an appropriate staff member for discussion of the speaker's topic at an appropriate time. However, the council has no obligation to engage with the speaker by either of the foregoing methods or at all. So the sign-up sheet, the first person is Philip Burright. If you'll state your name and address, you'll have 3 minutes.
All right, Philip Burright, 120 East Labonte, Lake Cliff Condominiums. All right. Meeting I attended, it was emphatically stated that various sound measurements were taken at each concert. I recently was informed that a Freedom of Information request that requested these measurements was denied, as such information was considered to be privileged. Once again, an opportunity for the council to be transparent in caring to citizens and homeowners has failed. I wondered what this council's response would have been if the amphitheater was not owned by the town. Affected homeowners have respectfully requested for mediation by starting with a minor investment by the town that would independently provide data to work with. This would include hiring an independent sound engineer. The council instead has ignored this request and has ignored this minor expense, but proceeds with expensive lighting and ironically sound mitigation for pickleball courts. We once again asked for an audience with the council to discuss next steps on how to mitigate this frustration about the concert volumes. By the way, a benchmark would have been last night's concert. It was pleasant. It was within reason. And I would bet to say that as people left, none of them would have said, I wish it would have been louder. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Philip. Next person is Rex Roberts. If you'll state your name and address, please, you'll have 3 minutes.
Rex Roberts, 220 Lake Dillon Drive, Waterview. Evening, Council. I'm an associate of the Waterview Project and am affiliated with the Treveny Square Metro District. I just wanted to read a quick statement in hopes of energizing some timely collaboration. Our team has been working hard to be responsive to the town. We were requested to look at dissolving the Metro District. We, as always, remain open to working collaboratively. And in that spirit, we have immediately responded to requests with documents to move things ahead. We've indicated to the town that if it wants to do something, then it needs to happen quickly. We've called the interim town manager several times over several weeks without a return call. We cannot work collaboratively without communication. We are working on several things in town. It is important for us that the residents know we continue to do our part to communicate, to listen, and to make things happen positively for the town of Dillon. That said, our project, like all projects, will benefit from more open dialogue. We've been told by staff and by council members that they don't feel comfortable communicating for fear of reprisals and personal attacks. We fear as the town of Dillon that ultimately will suffer if we are unable to have an open and effective dialogue. We believe we do indeed have aligned interests, and we, like yourselves, are here to do the very best we can for the community of Dillon. We do hope people in town will start to recognize those trying to work for the responsible and collaborative growth of Dillon, and those who may have different motives. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Rex. We'll move on to the next on the sheet. Nick Durham. If you'll state your name and address, you'll have 3 minutes.
Nick Dunham, 119 Levante. I just wanted to piggyback on some of that budget talk and the EQ or the EQRs. I'm probably one of the biggest water users in Dillon, and my unit alone has 24 EQRs. And I've been kind of digging in as rates have been changing into the bill, and noticed that there's maybe just an opportunity to maybe clean that up a little bit. Currently, it's assessed at 1.6 EQRs per washing machine. And that doesn't matter if it's the smallest one I have or the biggest one that I have. It's 1.6 regardless. It also doesn't matter if a machine is in use or if it's not. It's still set at that 24 EQR. And so I just think I overheard, some audits going on within the budget and within the town, and where there are ones left over that kind of got reapplied to what town has to offer for their EQRs. And I just thought that that might be kind of nice to have on the other side of that. So there would be an audit for people that are consuming these EQRs and actually see if those are being used, and if they're not, that would be assessed in their bill. And again, as I've, kind of looking around to change locations and maybe build something new, that assessed rate at 1.6, I think it translates to about $30,000 per water and sewer tap. So to replicate what I have, it'd be over $1 million just for water and sewer. It's a really big cost inhibitor right there for a small business like me, but also any business that's, a restaurant or anything that's trying to open and operate here. They'll have those same really high hurdles. I'm not necessarily saying that, or I don't have an idea of how to alleviate that, but it's something maybe that could be looked at. And as you guys kind of work through the town's audit, maybe there could be something on the consumer side as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. Is there anyone else in? Sean, would you like to speak? If you'll state your name and address.
So it's
You'll
Sean
have
Newgran
3
from 1
minutes.
West Levante. And it's just real brief, there's discussion about the seawall, and Barbara brought up the budget. I have a copy of the budget update from 2/9/26 from JHL Constructors. And I sent it to Rachel just a moment ago from my phone. Can ask her for that so you have a copy of it and you can see it. It's pretty well broken out. It says 5.1, 1.6 million. And you'll see how it's broken out through the different categories. And our conversation when we were in EDAC about this was, can we do any work now, save money to do assessments and to see if we can get firm bids on this while we have low water. So it was just a discussion we had, and We had Scott Downen in the group who also is pretty aware of construction cost, and he recommended that we also have a look and see what we can do, see if there's a way to save some money. That was the discussion. And it was based off the document that I just shared with you.
Thank you, Sean. Anyone else would like to speak before we move to online? Okay, we'll move to online. We have one person with their hand up.
Hello, I'm Carrie Dawn Solner, calling you from the course field right now with my kids. Drove down the hills. I
Carrie,
apologize
can
about the
you state
background
your
noise.
address, please? State your address, please.
Yes, 120 East Labonte. 120 East Labonte. So Honorable Mayor, Council, and Town Manager, again, thank you so much for all the hard work you do for the town, sewer, water. I'd like to send a special shout out to Carrie and Heather. Such clear competence. Thank you so much. And Carrie, I couldn't agree more that the numbers really tell the story. Last week, Scott, in your report, you said you wanted to count, you were looking forward to a successful season for the community. I just want to remind this council and you that we are also part of the community. Advocating for the livability of our homes has been incredibly time consuming. As you can tell, I'm sitting in the stairwell of Coors Field right now to make a comment. And frankly, it's been heartbreaking. We know you see us as a nuisance, but we are your neighbors. We continue to come before you because there's a real problem. There's a real problem, and you are our elected representatives. Legal counsel in Lakewood, Colorado is not our legal representatives. Last week during the town's audit presentation, the auditor expressed concern, sorry, I'm shaking, I'm still nervous every time, expressed concern that Dillon's financial reserves are extremely low. He noted that the town has roughly 3 months of reserves, while he prefers to see closer to 6 to 18 months. Fiscal responsibility matters. That's what makes the town's priorities difficult to understand. The town has spent nearly $500,000 on a new lighting system for the amphitheater, a public asset that continues to lose money, while refusing to invest a fraction of that amount on independent sound testing and mitigation with known solutions out there that are industry standard and tested that could really improve our lives and operations. At the same time, we watch this council, very difficult for me in particular, devote attention to nuisances such as pallets of wood and broken glass and illegally parked Airbnb cars, while doing little to address the nuisance created by the town itself in my home. The noise you hear in the background now is how we live in the summers. One that's made neighboring homes difficult to live in for families, seniors, and children. For years, we have attended meetings, hired experts, written letters, filed records requests, withdrawn legal claims, preserving our own rights in good faith, waiting for you guys to work with us, and asking for independent expertise. This does not have to be a choice between concerts and neighbors. Let me just go to the next page. Sound management exists and other communities use it successfully. I sent you all what Hollywood Bowl does last week. Community meetings,
Carrie
special
Dawn,
phone
thank you.
lines.
Carrie
Thank you
Dawn.
so much.
It's 3 minutes. Thank you. Is there anyone else online that wishes to speak at citizen comment? Then we'll close the citizen comment and we'll move on to item 5 on the agenda, consideration of resolution number 35-26, series of 2026, a resolution making an appointment to the Economic Development Advisory Committee. I'll open this up now for council discussion. We have 3 people that applied for the position. We have Nick Dunham, Ariel Johnston, and Kellery Lohman. So I'll open it up for discussion. Start from the left, Kyle, if you'd like to speak.
Well, it's great that we have at least two people who are passionate about being here and about being part of this and trying to improve our town. So I'm excited for that. It would have been great to see more, but we got two good ones. So I'm ready to go forward with it.
Ben?
I agree with Kyle. We have two excellent candidates and I think
You're
we
ready
should
to
go
make a
forward with the
decision?
appointment.
Linda?
Agree with Kyle and Ben. Ready to move forward?
Barb?
Here. I agree. Thank you so much for applying. Thank you for really talking with us today.
Shannon?
Ditto. Yep. Thanks
Ditto?
both. Thanks, and thanks for staying for the whole meeting.
Especially through the budgeting.
It was a long one.
I want to thank everybody. I know Nick has been coming to meetings for years, and Ariel, you take a great interest in our community, and I thank you, whatever the decision is, I thank both of you. So I know there's a motion, but we are gonna do secret ballot on this.
Yeah.
But first, is there a motion to approve resolution number 35-26? No?
We have to know who it is first.
Oh, okay. So we need to do this first. Okay.
Stop.
I can't. Ooh. Okay. Is there a motion to accept Ariel Johnston to the Economic Development Advisory Committee under resolution number 35-26, series of 2026?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second,
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Richard,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Oliver,
Yes.
Hendricks,
Yes.
Furtado,
yes.
Mayor Samuel.
Yes. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And special shout out to Nick. I know he comes often for many years, and it's dear to his heart too. So, next item on the agenda is item 6, consideration of resolution number 36-26, series of 2026, a resolution approving a contract with Win Marion Barber LLC for the 2026 EV parking lot project. Dan Burrs, you'll present that.
Oh, hello, Dan Burrows, town engineer. Yep, this is to support the EV chargers that are being currently constructed right now by Win Marion Barber. So we put this out to bid on BidNet, cast as wide a net as possible. We only had 5 people come to the pre-bid, and we did end up with 3 bids. They ranged from 258,000 down to 150,000. And Win Marion Barber was the lowest bidder. So this project is to build the parking lot to support the EV chargers. So it's just 4 parking spaces with some access aisles in between them. And it's a good price. There's not much to it. 4 parking spaces, a little drainage, and some grading. And you'll have yourself an EV charging station here by Halloween. So town staff recommends approval of this resolution.
Any discussion from council?
The contract looks pretty good.
Is there a motion to approve resolution number 36-26, series
So moved.
2026? Second,
Second.
roll call, please.
Councilmember Hendricks,
Yes.
Richard,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Oliver,
Yes.
Furtado,
Yes.
Mayor Samuel.
Yes. We'll move on to item 7 on the agenda. Thank you, Dan. Consideration of resolution number 37-26, series of 2026. A resolution of the town of Dillon, Colorado to approve the memorandum of understanding between the town of Dillon and Xcel Energy for the implementation of the Dillon Energy Action Plan. Ned, you'll present that presentation.
Hi, for the record, Ned West, Senior Planner. Yes, we actually did once before adopt the Energy Action Plan for the town of Dillon, but I included it in this resolution so that all things are neatly kept together. So we are readopting it. And then with this resolution, also entering into a memorandum of understanding with Xcel Energy and their group called Partners in Energy, who are helping us to implement the goals and policies set forth in our energy action plan. We've currently been working with them kind of on a handshake, and they've asked for us just to formalize it. From that work, we get a lot of assistance. They're helping us generate collateral right now for distribution to our residents and our businesses. And they're also giving us materials for our public engagement at the farmers market, which John and I will be up to again this Friday. We're going to try to break our record of 150 light bulb, LED light bulb kits and see if we can surpass that in one day. That was quite a day that we pulled that off. We did about 150. It was probably 145. But anyway, given that, we've been at it with Partners in Energy for quite a while. We did put our phase 2 implementation of our energy plan on hold as our community was dealing with some other things that we were more focused on. And we were really struggling to get some members of the public to be on a working committee. We're still seeking some interested parties to help us. So if you all know anybody who's really in love with this green energy space, we would love to have some assistance. It is a lot of work, and just trying to get the boots on the ground and distribute things and make contacts with people. We could certainly benefit from that. Barb Richard has joined our helping us, and we greatly appreciate that. So given that, staff does recommend approval of resolution number 37-26, series of 2026, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
This is a part of the Xcel Energy's push to convert gas to electric.
That's a big part of it. The plan doesn't dive into that to a great extent, but we're trying to trim on both sides. And
No,
so really getting into like building efficiency, really looking at what are people's windows doing? What is their insulation doing? Is it enough? Could they save money by doing some studies and making improvements? So that's really the focus.
Yeah. Northwest Cog had a program to help people with that too. But yeah, it's a sort of a win-win with Xcel Energy needing the conversion from gas because they don't have enough to supply our area, which is why they put the tanks over where the on Farmer's Corner there. Yeah, I think I would approve of this resolution.
Other comments?
I think it's great, and they're going to help us get the word out and kind of partner with HC3 and maybe save some people some money on energy. So it's all good. And Ned and John are out there saving people money with the light kits. So stop by the booth.
By all means, it comes with a town bag too. It's the best way to carry them. So, and yes, thank you, Barb.
Shannon, any thoughts or? No,
I think it's good.
Linda,
Good, no?
Kyle?
No.
Okay, thank you, Ned. Is there a motion to approve resolution number 37-26, series of 2026?
So moved.
Is there a
Second.
roll call, please?
Councilmember Oliver,
Yes.
Furtado,
Yes.
Richard,
Yes.
Hendricks,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Samuel.
Yes. We'll move on to item 8, consideration of resolution number 38-26, series of 2026. Resolution by the Town Council of the Town of Dillon, Colorado, approving a town property and right-of-way encroachment license agreement for 103 Main Street. Ned, it's yours again.
Yes, it's the Ned show tonight. Ned West, senior planner. Yes, we have been approached over many years by the owners of 103 Main with various ideas they have for the property. And none of the more major ideas have been able to move forward for various reasons. What they have now determined to do is renovate the building and add a new street-facing frontage on Lake Dillon Drive so that the front of the building is really Lake Dillon Drive and not the back parking lot facing the dental office. So what they're proposing, and we have some rough sketches that our friends at Layton Construction have helped the owners of 103 Main put together. But the idea is to add a bunch of glass to the front and then making that the main entrance. They have requested a encroachment license agreement with the town to allow for the construction of stairs to go up through that wall area that is shown in that picture and access the main part and the new front of the building. That's the essence of what we're up to here. You can see from those pictures that building is surrounded by an urban forest. Some of the healthiest trees we have in town actually are there. However, they totally obscure the building. So the idea is that some of the trees will be removed to thin it out and give the building some exposure. And then the idea is they also want to build the stairs, new front, and some outdoor seating areas for commercial use. Right now, they have in mind a office use for the building with a very interested potential tenant. Long-term, they're really still focused on trying to get a cafe on that corner. And this would go a long way for them achieving those desires. So I can tell you that after work session, when I did briefly mention this again tonight, I did talk with Councilmember Rotano, and I do have some clarity on some of his questions. One of which was, should there be additional encroachment license area for those doorways that are shown on the north side of the building? We did not have that. There is currently a doorway there, and it just goes out onto town-owned land. That's very similar to much of the town center, right? The buildings just own their footprint, and then they walk out into the public realm. We could add that an encroachment area along that side if you so choose, or we could do it at a later date. It's okay for them to walk out onto the public realm, but to Ben's point, it might be beneficial to have that more locked up in an encroachment license area. And finally, did determine one of Councilmember Rotano's concerns, and you guys can certainly talk about this after I finish here, but I'm proposing that we amend the encroachment agreement with just one short 3 words in section 1 of the agreement, where it says consent to encroachment. And I am proposing that the first sentence now read, the town hereby consents to the encroachment as fully described on Exhibit C for commercial purposes. So adding that for commercial purposes. So staff does recommend with the proposed amendment to approve Resolution 38-26, series of 2026, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Can you restate the amendment?
Yes. It's within the encroachment license agreement document itself, in section 1, adding to the end of the first sentence that ends currently in Exhibit C, adding for commercial purposes. The intent there is really, we aren't necessarily interested in providing an encroachment license for that building to become a residential use, which would require pretty thorough zoning review and would go to planning commission, I'd anticipate. But really the interest here in allowing for the use of the town space is really to create vibrancy and provide for outdoor space for a commercial use.
So unit A, B, and C, commercial, not residential.
Yes.
That's correct. That's
Just the area where it's going to get that.
that's our current proposal.
And I would move that we amend the resolution to say that. You have a second?
So everything that you have on here, pretty much with the exception of the patios, is because, you know, you don't have anything planned in there yet, because the way this looks to me, it just really doesn't make any sense. The walkways going into a bike service rental, the ADA, and then it looks like maybe a restaurant or bar or something, and then you've got some, but then you say future, then the bathrooms are there, and then there's just a kitchen. I don't know, if it's borderline looking residentially to me, and then the other two are just blank. So I guess I would like to see more of what's going to be there and what they're going to do. Because this still seems to be nothing's decided. You said they had maybe an office space and that's it?
The current intent is there is an interested party who would like to use it for office space. And that's their short plan, is to fill the space, to renovate it, finish the project where the one roofing contractor walked off the job, and get it finished and do the remodel, make the building more enticing, get a tenant in currently who's interested. And ultimately their goal remains to have a cafe there on that corner.
Because the tenant, if it's an office, how does that help our town out with bringing income into us? I know you just said that it was going to be they can get some money for a rent and maybe try to improve it, but we still don't know what it's going to. I just would like to see it a little more complete, but that's me and
Well,
just my thought.
They are hesitant to put any more design effort into the property until they know they can actually get this frontage. And if this frontage isn't acceptable, then so be it. But yeah, these are actually some older drawings that they have added the patio space to. They were just trying to put something together to help illustrate what is intended here.
And the agreement is revocable if they don't.
The agreement is revocable.
Yes. We give them 30 days notice. I would also put it on the later on where they have where it says we can revoke it, that it's that we put in there that if within a amount of time they don't that we'll just say they should come back to us with their final plans so we can see what they were going to do before, so we'll give I would give them the thing, but then I would like to see the plans before they before they renovate, so we can decide whether we want to revoke that or not. So we can do that. I mean, I want to make sure there's some way in there. It's just the revoke where it says to revoke it. It's just kind of strange. the way it reads. But it, I really don't have any problem as long as they continue on with what they, what they want to do. And as long as it's revocable, I think it's, we should go forward and let them try to, do what they need to do. That's my opinion. And I understand your concerns, Linda, but, yeah, it would be nice. But, like you said, it is revocable and we can revoke it, if we don't deem that it's not proper. But, no, yeah, it's one of those things where you got several different things going on at the same time, and it's not really, we don't have any really definition yet. So, if they need to have it done in order to proceed, I think, yeah, with the plans, I think, well, okay, we give it to them and then, let them come back to us with the plans. What they want to do, and we won't revoke it, yeah, whatever.
So do you?
Well, it's
It sounds like I need to work on this some more because I don't have any way for you all to edit on the fly. The extent of what you're trying to ask for, because again,
yeah,
the town council would not review a remodel for that building.
right, we can't review a remodel, we don't normally do that, but because they're asking for an encroachment license, whatever, or if they, don't want to do the encroachment, if they would like to buy the property that's town owned, that would eliminate us doing that, having an encroachment, and then we wouldn't have any say at all, but it's one of
So,
those things.
it's kind of a chicken and egg is what you're saying, is they don't want to move forward without a commitment from us saying, yeah, we're willing to work with you on the Lake Dillon Drive frontage. And then this is the same question I have when I look at it. I go, I just want to know what I'm signing up for as far as the purpose and the.
So I think there's an important distinction here. When Dura loaned money for the roof, we did know what was presented is this. It was commercial. There was going to be some adjustments to it. I think that's consistent. So Dura loaned money under the understanding that this is what you were going to get. And here we are tonight. You're presenting this is what we're going to get. And I think that's consistent. I personally would support this.
Well, that kind of leads me back to just another thought too. When Dura did learn this or loan them the money, and yes, this is what we were looking at or something that was discussed, excuse me, there was a time limit on this as well. There was a time limit of like 12 to 18 months for them to get a commercial business in there to produce money as well for the community. So if it's just going to be an office in the back, I would like to bring up the fact that there was I can't remember what it was, 12 to 18 months of getting a commercial business in there to produce some sales tax. Does this feel, I'd hate to have something just like an office in the back fulfill that, and then it stays vacant for another 2 years.
My understanding is the intent is to have the in the front in the beginning here, and maybe trying to get some other tenants in the farther back, but I don't know if, are they occupying the entire space? The intent is this first tenant is going to occupy the entire space. And would you all like to disclose who the tenant is, or is that, I don't know if that benefits it. I don't know if that's part of the consideration.
When you say the entire space.
It's an office space, and the entire building is going to be occupied by the one proposed tenant that is currently lined up.
That's an office.
It's an office.
I see it as a commercial space. It's a patio for a commercial space. All the patio could do is give it more potential for something else. So I don't see any issue with it whatsoever.
I have a question of clarification. So tonight, we're really only, you're asking about the ADA walkway, the new stairway and walkway down to Lake Dillon Drive, and then the patio that looks like it has tables. And we are not agreeing to the future patios on, I'm looking at 3 patios, but I'm hearing 1 patio.
Well, I may have misspoken. All 3 patios are within the encroachment license area shown on in exhibits. Red hatched areas.
But it's all commercial.
Yeah, it's all commercial.
Yeah, the amendment is for commercial.
Yeah,
The resolution is for an encroachment license for what you see. What you see is consistent with what Dura loaned money or gave money for, with an understanding that the use of the space down the road would be specific to certain uses, which an amendment is going to reaffirm. What you're potentially voting on is the encroachment.
yes, we don't have a second on my amendment. And vote.
Whether or not it brings in a lot of taxes, it doesn't really matter. We are filling an empty space.
That's another consideration because it's been a blight on that corner since I was on council,
Or, I'm sorry, we're not filling an empty space. We're helping them.
helping them fill a space. Yeah.
So
I think it's attractive.
So, well, I had one question on that. So when we did the roof, there was a drawing. And then there's a drawing in this packet that with the, I'll call it the shade structures, but that doesn't match with the orange face now either. So I just wanted to know, is it this one? Is this
That is the
the,
proposed storefront.
okay,
The floor plan was used just because it included the site plan and it enabled them to locate the
I got it.
encroachment items.
Okay,
They-
so,
They did not have an opportunity to put together a blank floor plan. I suppose we could have whited out a bunch. of
no,
things.
no, I'm just saying, I'm not saying that. I'm just trying to understand where we are. So when we did the roof, it looked more like this. And so it's changed, the mansard roof was kind of going away, but now this one shows a mansard, but then this one, I don't know where the mansard is on this front. So I was just wondering, I just want to make sure that it'll be following design guidelines and the whole piece when it comes in to be reviewed for renovation or remodel, excuse me.
Well, I can tell you that a mansard roof is specifically called out as not appropriate as a new structure, but this isn't a new structure.
Right.
This is a remodel. So my understanding is the way the trusses are with that mansard roof style, that mansard is part of the full truss system and probably cannot be removed.
Okay.
No, I'm not a structural engineer and I'm not a contractor, but my understanding is the intent is to make the mansard roof more attractive and improve the entryway.
Yes, attractive mountain charm. That's what I was trying to get at is let's just go that way. Thank
I
you.
don't know.
Linda?
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for, not to be misunderstood. I do like what you have here. I'm concerned about what we can do inside. I thought that it was going to be more, I know at one point in time you had said something about a restaurant and I know and maybe the one office and that maybe there would be something in the middle and that seemed to please all of us because we had a little bit of everything there. Now seems like it's going to be all one office, which yes, it's going to, if we approve this, it cleans up the corner and it puts patio out and maybe in the future, maybe it can open the door to something else. All for that. I'm just really concerned about the first floor being used as something that I know I can't say, I thought the first floor in our code was supposed to be something retail-ish or something that would bring in some tax dollars into our town and not office space for the whole building. That was something that I thought we had in our code that first floors should or could or would like to be a retail income producing to the community type
The
thing?
code allows first floor in the core area zone district to be office space.
Okay.
Any type of commercial use, essentially.
Okay.
Any type, but a broad spectrum. It does not allow residential on the first floor unless
Right.
you go through a conditional use permit and a PUD process.
Okay.
So that's how that's addressed there.
And
The desire of the zone district is to be this engaging, walkable, retail, entertainment-oriented space.
mhm.
And then we have a reality of what it truly is. I think that the real intent here is to mitigate the blighted building, spruce it up, have a tenant who can occupy it right away,
Mhm.
while the long-range plans of designing a restaurant space and finding a restaurateur remains the true goal of the property owners.
Okay, I just wanted to, thank you for clarifying that for me as well.
Yes.
So, I
Is-
appreciate that.
Is the one tenant associated with the construction across the street?
That's my understanding.
So that for temporary, as we help a development across the street move forward faster, is giving some organizational structure to 103 Main. And as that diminishes, then this transfers into a commercial setting, which that's an attractive corner. And I think anything we do to make it more attractive commercially is better for town of Dillon. That's just my opinion.
And we also have to remind ourselves that they are going to build an ADA access to the building, which is also very beneficial to our town residents.
So the way I read it, it's a quick remodel to get the building in service. Is that kind of where we're at?
Yes.
Thank you.
Any more discussion? Thank you, Ned. Or Ben?
But we never had a second or to my amendment.
Okay, so
And
would someone like to make a motion to approve Ben's amendment to the,
the amendment was to add the language that Ned
For
adds
commercial
for
purposes.
commercial purposes to that line.
is there a second to that motion?
Second,
Any more discussion on the amendment? Roll call for the amendment.
Councilmember White,
yes?
Furtado,
Yes,
Hendricks,
Yes.
Oliver,
Yes,
Richard,
Yes.
Mayor Samuel.
Yes. So we have an amendment to the resolution. Is there any more discussion on the resolution? Thank you, Ned, so much for the presentation. Is there a motion to approve resolution number 38-26, series of 2026?
I move to approve with the amendment.
Is there a second?
second,
Any more discussion? Roll call?
Councilmember White,
yes,
Furtado,
Yes,
Hendricks,
Yes.
Oliver,
yes,
Richard,
Yes.
Mayor Samuel.
Yes. We'll move on to item 9 on the agenda, consideration of ordinance number 04-26, series of 2026, which is second reading and public hearing. An ordinance adopting by reference the Summit County Building Code and such secondary codes as adopted and amended therein. I'll open the public hearing and announce the time is 7:55. Staff presentation, Ned. Have
Ed
at it.
West, Senior Planner. Yes, thank you. This is the second reading and public hearing for the consideration of the adoption of the Summit County Building Code. Summit County Building Code contains a lot of different codes. So this ordinance, what it does is it bear with me. This is what I need. I just got a little bit older today, so I need them more and more. What this does is it will first repeal the old codes, which were the 2018 series of codes, which were adopted in 2020. And then it will adopt the new 2024 series of codes, including local amendments. I will point out that the IECC, that's the International Energy Conservation Code, is adopted and heavily amended in this package of Summit County adoption. The reason why it is heavily amended is to supersede meet or supersede the state requirement that any codes adopted after July 1 of this year must either abide by a model code of energy conservation or supersede it. And so when the county reviewed what the model code was prepared by the state, they opted to do their own amendments and come up with a cleaner package. Part of that was that, as Glenn Morgan, the chief building official, expressed, we've been doing this for 20, 25 years. We know how to do this here in Summit County, and we can do it better. So that's why they went their own route. So I will make note that in the exhibit of the staff report, excuse me, I include the REMP code. That's the Renewable Energy Mitigation Program. I removed that from the Summit County building codes for a very specific reason. After speaking with Glenn Morgan, the chief building official, he felt it was much more beneficial for the town if we wanted to consider a REMP code to include it in our land use code and not in the building codes. The reason being, we can address the issues and requirements of these codes upfront with prospective developers, as opposed to having them get to the building department and not having planned for them properly on their site. The idea with the REMP is to do offset your outdoor energy usage through various means. The way the county has adopted it, it has to be on site. I know when we talked about this in work session, some of you felt that that was a good idea to have that offset on site. So that'd be as if you're doing an outdoor heated pool, then you need to do solar panels on your roof, something like that. We have run into scenarios where in the public realm, the town has looked at projects that would have heated sidewalks, for instance, and we yet would not have any on-site location for an offset. So that's up for discussion. The way I have proposed these building codes tonight is that we remove all of the references to REMP and consider them at a future time under a separate code amendment. So given that, should we adopt this ordinance tonight, it will go in effect 5 days following. That ends up being Sunday. So when we show up Monday, any application we receive will be under these new codes. Yeah, staff recommends approval of ordinance 04-26 series of 2026. And I'm happy to answer any questions and remind you
Okay.
that it is a public hearing.
Me again?
Yes.
Yeah, I have a question on the REMP. If we put it into the town codes, will there be then a way of giving an exemption to that if there was no way of doing a on offset? Or do we have to, would we put a fund into a fund for like a battery storage system or something like that?
And that's where my mind went with it is definitely, and a lot of communities do have a fund that you can pay into when people just can't achieve it on their own property. So that would be my proposal.
Okay.
So before we have council questions, is there any public comments here to speak? So we'll close the public comment portion and then now council questions. Ben, continue.
Well,
Whatever you got.
I gave the question
Okay.
about the REMP. Otherwise, other than that, it's just the standard approval of codes that we probably should do. So we don't have a conflict with the old codes and the building inspectors.
Yeah, eventually the building inspectors will lose their memory of the older codes, become much more in tune with the new ones. And we benefit from having Summit County as our building inspection department.
I just have one question. If we do our own REMP style codes, how long does that take to get them into effect? If we design our own and like
Well,
what's a standard?
Because it's in chapter 18, the building codes are in chapter 18, that is just comes before the town council. Typically how we've done town council code amendments
Mhm.
is a work session or two, and then we would have the 2 readings of the ordinance.
Okay.
So that could take, I guess, 2 months on the fast end and 3, we spaced it out a little bit.
Well, planning has to come up with those first, or those codes roughly, right? Or you would just use kind of the template?
Excuse me. I'm sorry. That's correct. We actually would need to run it through the planning commission
Yeah.
first because we're talking about inserting it in the land use code. I'm sorry,
Okay.
I apologize.
No,
So
that's
that still could track in that 3 months.
fine. Okay. I just want to know roughly the ballpark. That's all. Thank you.
I have a question.
Okay.
So it can take like 2 to 3 months on whatever, but where does that fall in your queue of projects as far as when we would actually be seeing it?
Well, it would have to be the September planning commission meeting where I would get it in front of them. And then we could do first reading within 2 weeks or something, I think. And then, so it could still be pretty quick, but it still sounds like it's 3 months out from today. I would like to know if for sure tonight, if that's the direction you all would give me, so.
Madam White and Council, is this something that you're interested in having staff pursue, look into?
I am.
Yeah, it sounds like it's something we want to, yes, if we want to try to promote more green energy, that's the best, it's one of the ways to do it. Yes, did I say that's correctly?
Is that consensus from all of you?
I would agree.
Sounds like at least 5 of you.
Yes.
For sure. Yeah, thank you.
Any questions for Ned? Any more questions? So we'll close the public hearing is 8:05. And then we'll open up council discussion. Any discussion?
I
on the
think we already
subject?
had it.
No discussion? Okay. Is there a motion to approve ordinance number 04-26, series,
So moved.
what?
So moved.
Okay, 2026. There's a second.
Second,
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Richard,
yes.
Hendricks,
Yes.
Furtado,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Oliver,
Yes.
Mayor Samuel.
Yes. Thank you, Ned.
Thank you.
Move on to item 10 on the agenda, review future council agendas. I'll turn that over to Scott.
So we're kind of working through, excuse me, the August meeting. The one thing I am going to do is we're going to reconnect with the EDAC committee. There was a part 2 of the meeting with council to just kind of an update on where they're at and reconfirming the direction that they're going. There was an exercise that Trace Faust, I am communicating with Trace on continuing the efforts, the work she's been doing with Dylan. We also will, we anticipate bringing supplemental appropriations in front of you regarding the budget. And the other item that I want to bring forward is and I'll could talk more about this in my meeting, but a review of RFPs for the town manager search. So that would be really kind of the items for the next meeting. So I'm trying to, Trace has taken some time off for family reasons. I'm working and trying to plug her back into the process. Obviously, moving forward, there's going to be a big push for budget related items, the small funds, and then getting more serious about the budget in September. But is there anything that council would like staff to concentrate on?
As far as work session, next time I would like to talk about the amphitheater and the amphitheater sound in a work session, just to talk about it and what we can do. And I would also ask the town manager to check to see with our lawyer to see if we can withhold the sound ratings from open meeting, an open records request.
Absolutely. Mr. Rotano, would it be okay if I think I need, regarding a work session discussion about sound, I'd like to converse with our special counsel on that and find out if he's maybe ready to have that conversation. I'm not sure we're ready to have that conversation in a work session. But let me broach the subject with him and have the,
Well, yeah, you'll
Okay.
find out whether,
Yeah.
we can or not, and that's what.
yeah, so we've
I would-
evaluated that already, and the answer has been that it is attorney-client privilege.
Right.
So right now, the answer is we're not going to release that information. I'm happy to circle back with the attorney and just discuss it in more detail.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think this should be discussed in an executive session.
okay, thank you.
I think in the past, these are sensitive attorney-client issues, and we shouldn't be breaching.
Maybe executive session is what I need, yeah.
Yeah, I think executive session
Thank you.
to review again what we've already can't disclose we've reviewed.
Yeah, obviously I'd like to see things more transparent, but if our special counsel says we need to keep things quiet, then I understand.
Okay.
Okay.
I would like to see if we can develop some point of information through Bob's rules, a point of information to clarify why, from Nick Poppy, why we are discussing things in executive session versus open.
I don't even think it's appropriate. We're sitting here discussing this right now. These are executive session issues.
I think you can make point of information statements. So,
But before, that's privileged confidential information, and we're treading somewhere we shouldn't, and we can call our attorney right now. She's willing to come on and discuss it.
Yeah, and I think Mr. Poppy is our special counsel, and I'll talk to Jesse, but I think I'm happy to have a conversation with him and see where we're at.
Mhm.
And are we at a point where it's time for an update to council in executive session concerning the issue? I'm happy to have that conversation.
Catherine did express she's willing to come on to this meeting when
Yeah.
we had our mayor managers this morning, and
Yeah.
maybe it's appropriate that she does.
And she may very well defer to special counsel.
Yes, but
Mr. Poppy.
but we're making decisions outside of council right now and shouldn't be.
No, we're not, but continue.
Well, discussions, we're discussing
We're just discussing.
sensitive attorney-client.
Was there anything else that council would like to see on the future agenda? Okay. Thank you.
Mayor's report, I don't have a lot. Scott and I have been meeting regularly and dealing with our town manager issues and finance director and other important issues that trying to keep the ship going the right direction. And I think Scott's doing a great job.
Thank you.
I don't have a lot of meetings to report on, so. Council member comments, committee reports.
Wanted to give a compliment to the events department for the Raptor education thing. I went and participated. There was a lot of families there. I mean, the birds are incredible to see up close and personal, and I would love to see more educational opportunities and at the amphitheater that are family friendly. And I mean, aside from the bird talking in the microphone the whole time, it was a pretty chill event. Thank you for doing it. I agree. I thought it was a great event.
Other committee reports?
Um,
comments?
I had one, when I went to the Colorado Municipal League Conference, I did attend the mayor manager breakfast where they were kind of training mayors and managers and mayor pro tems. And I would like to ask council if I can attend the weekly mayor manager meeting in Dillon, just so I can get some more training as mayor pro tem. I learned that other towns kind of do it that way. And I just think it would, I'd be willing to commit the time to kind of learn some more. So I want to know from the council, are you guys okay with me attending?
No.
I think the way our documents, it's mayor and manager. I've personally reviewed this with other mayors in our county, and the mayor-manager meeting is a meeting of confidence between the two. Personally, I think it should remain that way.
I think
Nothing personal against anybody, but the discussions are mayor discussions, and I think it should remain that way.
I personally think it would be a great idea to have the mayor pro tem in attendance as well. I feel that if somebody has to be in absence or anything along that line, you would have not, she would have knowledge in it. I think having the mayor pro tem in the mayor manager meetings would be important for all of us. And that I would approve for the mayor pro tem to be in those meetings with the mayor and the manager.
Just to follow up, mayor-manager county meetings, as mayor pro tem, I was never invited when the mayor was attending. I was only invited when the mayor could not attend. And the only reason I was included as mayor pro tem and mayor manager's meeting was because our mayor was stepping down. I don't plan on stepping down. This is a confidential meeting. It doesn't involve council members, nothing personal. It's business between the mayor and the town manager.
How
Well,
did it matter? Go ahead. Sorry.
then stop reporting to us what it's about. If it's none of our business, of course she can go to the mayor manager's meetings. There's no reason for her not to. She's asking for more education, more support. Why not let her?
Because there was negative blowback when some meetings did happen, and it was uncomfortable.
Personally, I think it's really up to the mayor manager. Although I approve of her going, I think we should ask the mayors and managers if she can attend. I don't think we should, I mean, we can't say you can go, but they're saying, well, they don't really want.
But she's asking council.
What?
She's asking council to.
Our policy documents don't allow for that.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. If
So
they-
change the policy document.
They can change the policy document, but the problem is will the other mayors and managers accept her in the meeting?
No, not that one. I'm only
No,
talking
no, no,
about
we're
the
not.
Dillon ones.
We're talking about a private Dillon mayor manager meeting.
Not the
Not the county.
Oh, not the council.
not the county meeting.
Yeah, no problem. We can change the policy. Is really, the mayor and the manager, that's the policy because the mayor has the thing, but, as mayor pro tem, I was mayor pro tem, it's always good to have, a meeting because if the mayor is, for some reason not there, it'd be nice as a mayor pro tem to be able to step into the thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When that time, if, and when I was mayor pro tem
Yeah,
and the mayor couldn't make it, I filled in.
you feel.
I didn't need to be brought up to
That's because
speed.
that is the reason why we have.
The
a mayor.
discussions that happen in those meetings can be private and sensitive in nature, and
Yeah.
I would rather discuss those things without being inhibited. And if I want to share those things, I want to be able to share them without being inhibited.
Or do you swear to secrecy?
Yeah, mostly I just want to kind of train up, but it's,
Well, then,
so. and
before my term ends, then that'd be a good time to train up.
I haven't weighed in. Is it all right if I do?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I'd be in favor of Barb being in the, or Mayor Pro Tem, any Mayor Pro Tem going from here on out, being in that room. And I have a few reasons. I was just sitting here listening to everybody, and I think it promotes transparency and a more collaborative agenda development process. I think it provides leadership continuity when, when the Mayor Pro Tem serves in the mayor's absence, not only in this room here, but anywhere in the community. I think it allows potential issues, questions, and policy considerations to be identified earlier in the process. I think it really aligns with our town goal that came out of the forums of the goal of open, effective, and inclusive government. And so if it needs to be a policy change, I would like to propose that we, if we can do that have it on the next agenda, if that's the route that it needs to go. But I'm in favor of Mayor Pro Tem being part of that meeting. Thank you.
So there was a communication between Barb and I on this issue. And if you'd like, I'll read it to you as to why I wanted to not go there.
You're talking about the text back way in the beginning?
I'm okay with,
I don't think it
I don't
matters.
think it's necessary, and I just stated my feelings on this and my opinion on it, and it's really not, my feelings are not open for debate. So,
Well,
thank you.
our council members sit here to discuss. It's a council meeting. A mayor manager is a private meeting between town manager.
Is it,
Yes, for the most part, yes.
for the most part? Is it a private meeting though?
Scott, your thoughts?
So the first thing I'm going to say is I don't believe that there is any sort of a written document or policy establishing the meeting. It's something that I believe that Carolyn started. I believe the meeting between the mayor, certainly it can be at the mayor's discretion to meet with the manager once a week, and that's fine. I'm just going to say, I am more than happy to meet with any of you, whether it's with Josh at the same time or in years past, the manager would often once a week or every couple of weeks meet with every individual with council. So again, in terms of the meeting that Josh has with me, I think the conversation is good, but I believe that perhaps that meeting maybe should be at the discretion of the mayor. That's a meeting that was established by Josh. But again, for the record, I am more than happy to meet with any of you in whatever capacity. If the mayor should allow that people can join that meeting, if you guys want, if it wants to be one person, if it wants to be mayor pro tem, if you guys want to take turns. I think for transparency and continuity, I think that there's a real value to that. I serve at your will. I'm happy to do whatever you ask me to do. But again, that offer is there for all of you. I'm happy anytime if you want to set up regular meetings with me, I'm happy to do that with you as well.
I mean, there's nothing stopping you from meeting with the manager whenever you like.
Oh, yeah, no, I was more interested in, I don't know what you guys do necessarily completely at that agenda meeting, and so I just kind of wanted to go learn. So.
I mean, I will disclose, I spoke with other mayors in our county and they advised against it. This is not it's not something I took lightly, or I discussed how, how do you feel towards this? And they expressed their opinions of the relationship between mayor and manager. And that's where it should sit, mayor and manager. I know there's different opinions or discussions, but we sit here as council and discuss those other things. That's a chance for manager and mayor to discuss things that are on the mayor's mind. It doesn't, in my mind, include Mayor Pro Tem, although it can, but
But you can always, you can always have a meeting with the manager if you want to just have a conversation with them. This
and
is
that's
setting
what-
the
and-
agendas.
And that's what we do.
And this is to be a little more input and say you couldn't make it, then
We-
the mayor pro tem knows what's on the agenda and knows how to.
We have a
what the
lot of
discussion was.
sensitive issues. We have a lot of things that are in process, and adding more confrontation doesn't help the situation.
How is it going to be confrontational?
Uh, I don't really want to disclose that.
I believe I'm going to come to your fort at your next meeting and hang out for your meeting.
Just Linda, for the record, I work for this, I work at the discretion of this body. I work for all of you. I do not work for an individual. I work for this body. And again, I'm more than willing to meet with any of you at any time.
Mayor has responsibilities different than Mayor Pro Tem, different than council members. Give the mayor that space to discuss mayor issues.
I think it's interesting that you just branded me as confrontational when that's never been my intent. So
I'm trying to stay away from all this, really.
I didn't
I
take
didn't
it that
bring it-
way. I took it as you feeling that you couldn't have a meeting without being confrontational. That's how I
No,
took what you said.
that's not true.
Oh,
I mentioned earlier,
there's no confrontation. I don't see
I'm
what
not
the issue
speaking
is.
for myself.
I mentioned earlier, and I don't want this to be an issue for you. In the past, the manager would set aside time to meet with every individual on council. And I'm happy to put together a schedule to make that happen for all of you. Would that be a compromise or a way forward for all of you?
well, I'm just going to get more mayor training then
Okay.
through CML. I'm good.
Okay.
I'll figure it out. So I'll just take care of it that way. And if the council wants to change the policy, it is in our council procedures. That's where it lives. So that's kind of where I'm at.
I'm really disappointed to hear one member of our council trying to deny training to another. So I would like to put it on, I would like to see whatever the procedure is to try and create a policy if there isn't one to
Nobody's
create
denying,
that
nobody's
policy. Thank you.
denying training to anybody. If anything, I was the one that included Mayor Pro Tem from the start. It was my decision to include. So it wasn't because I didn't want to. I was very open to it.
I feel pretty silly being on this council. Thank you, Mayor.
I had one other just a thought was from this was some people who were trying to find the food trucks. Is there a possibility to have a food trucks banner that people can see from the post office? Just the idea to throw out there. It says food trucks, this direction kind of thing.
I would need to confer with Ned, our
Yeah.
senior planner, to see, and the sign provisions, to see whether that's possible or not.
Just wanted to throw it out as an idea.
Ned, do you want to speak to that?
I believe we can. The way this food truck program is being run, it's a town vitalization event that's taking place. And these are our 4 vendors of that event. And so the way we traditionally do signage for events is they're exempt from our sign code provisions for obvious reasons, right? When you're trying to direct people to the farmer's market, you have these sandwich board signs all over town to help guide people. So I think we can do something very much in line with what you're thinking about. I'd love some ideas on what you'd like us to look into, and we'll work on it. And I'll verify in the code that we aren't stepping on our own toes there, but I believe there is a way.
Thank you.
Town managers report.
Thank you. So one thing I want to say right off the bat is that I do value communication with all of you. And I do think it would be a benefit to me as acting town manager, especially because we're going to be moving into some critical pieces. And I just want to make sure that I'm spending time with all of you. And so, Madam White, I am going to look into some sort of a schedule that I'll offer to any of you, really, that we can meet more consistently. I think right now I do meet with you. At times it's a little bit more ad hoc, and I think it would be good to have some more consistency with that. With your permission, I'll try to put something together that I could offer to anybody who wants to do that. You have my written report. There's a lot of different items on there, but the one thing I definitely want to talk about is that so I want to update you. We did issue an RFP for the search, looking for a search firm to assist us with the town manager recruitment. So we reached out to 4 different firms. We had a list of firms and really their qualifications, and we picked some firms who we felt were more familiar with mountain towns, mountain communities, mountain resorts. And I think that is a piece that is probably more critical and appropriate for us. So we've sent out that RFP. We are getting responses. We gave them a deadline for that for the end of this month. And on August 4th, as I mentioned before, I want to bring those RFPs in front of you for your review. You'll have them ahead of time. You can look at them. I want to have a conversation about who you feel would be the best company for the town of Dillon to assist us with the town manager recruitment. The other thing that Carrie and I worked on was a draft schedule. And I handed one out earlier, and we've made some changes to that. So we'll bring another draft schedule in front of you. Keep in mind that the firm that we hire, that schedule may get modified, and it's going to include different pieces, as I mentioned in my report. Some of them are a la carte, where you can choose, are they going to, we do need to do a job description review and things like that. Are we going to do that? Can the firm do that? What's the price to do that? So we're going to have some discussions about really what the scope of their services are. The other piece to that is our town attorney has shared with Josh and I some information concerning Colorado law and the recruitment of the chief executive officer for municipalities. So there is some law that we need to follow. So I sent her a copy of that schedule today. She's going to review that and make some comments in terms of the document she sent me, and at certain points in that schedule, confirming that there's things that we need to do by state law for that. But I just wanted to let all of you know that now that we're kind of checking the boxes on the key objectives that I discussed with you earlier, we're starting to move on to the next pieces. So that's all I had for you tonight. There's other stuff on my report. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Scott? So I'd like to backtrack to Mayor's report. I feel a little blindsided here. The rest of the council's not aware of confidential meetings that happened. I don't really want to discuss the topics. But they did influence my thoughts on meeting together. And you're not aware of it. I am. I don't think it's fair to blindside me like this on mayor-manager meetings. I can't even disclose what happened, and that's not fair to you nor fair to me. But that's all I have.
Well, there are some things that really the mayor and the town manager need to discuss in private, but I think Barb was just looking for maybe meetings that wouldn't be discussing sensitive issues that maybe she could help and attend
And,
with,
and maybe that's an additional meeting we can add.
yeah. But
But I
that's,
think there is a place for
Well, you-
my thoughts to be with.
you are the representative between the council and staff, according to our code. And it's really up to you whether you allow somebody to come into some meetings.
But
And I agree with that.
there's confidential things
Yeah,
that you're
right.
unaware of.
Right, well, I'm saying that,
We're all,
yes.
that
Right.
I'm the only one sitting at this table. We no longer have a past town manager. We have attorneys, we have Sursa.
Yeah,
There are circumstances that
well, especially
warrant.
with HR
Yes.
type of stuff. I
and
understand
can't-
that.
And I can't share any of that.
Oh, yeah, well, I know that.
That's not where I was going with this at all.
No.
My thought was
I
to
get it.
train up was
Yeah.
but it was, I get it. You're not comfortable. So I'm not elected a mayor. You are elected mayor. So my thing was just getting some additional
And I
training.
believe in my
Yeah.
comment, I didn't intend for that to be permanent. I said things are very complicated right now. We need to keep things as simple as possible. In the future, maybe let's revisit it. But for
No,
now,
that was in May. Yeah.
I know.
So that's why I was asking tonight.
and
Okay,
it
so
wasn't,
It's
it
July.
wasn't a situation that was with a closed door. It's, for now, things are complicated. Let's get through. We don't need to make it more complicated.
Mm-hmm.
When things clear up, let's revisit it. And I think that's what
Okay,
my
so-
text reflected.
Yeah, so that's fine. I was just wondering if it was time. That's where I'm going with it. So I understand it's not, so like I said, I'll train up other ways. It'll work out. And I can, as Scott has always said, because he's got an open door, any of us can meet
We
with
can
him.
meet in a secondary meeting. I
Yeah.
don't think anything stops that.
Yeah, That's all good.
I'm not opposed to that at all.
Yeah. No, I put it this way. I mean, I was willing to make the time and I just thought it was a simple thing. And if it's not a simple thing, then that's.
Well, it's not silly and it's not unfounded, and it does have to do with the functioning of our council and our staff. And
No, I'm not
just-
saying it's silly at all. It just was a.
we
it was
have
just
another council member that says it's silly.
Well,
And we have
well,
another one
we don't,
saying,
it's okay.
another one that's,
I never
blindsided,
intended it to
so.
get heated. So it was more of just a request if it's time for me to sit in and learn some more, but it's fine. I can do it elsewhere.
I don't think we meant to blindside you. It was just a matter of, a request so she could learn more, not to, and you say you have,
I'm not opposed to
Problem.
that. I just, this isn't the,
and we didn't blindside you. We're asking for a request and it's up to you. When you're
I
available.
think my text said it all, and I
Yeah.
think it was open-minded.
Yeah. Okay. I just I don't think we were trying to. blindside you.
I appreciate it and I accept your,
Okay.
uh,
I apologize. besides-
there's no apology needed.
Okay.
I accept. That's why I wanted to read the text, because it wasn't how it's being interpreted.
Mm.
But anyway, let's move on and try and work together.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
what we're here for.
I'm not objecting to whatever you said, and I never, if you took it that way, I was not. I was just wanting to let Barb have a little bit more training at your leisure.
And maybe we're getting close. Maybe town manager, finance director, get our staff working more together. Then maybe that's a better time to introduce the subject again.
Yeah. I think we should maybe sometime have after we get our new manager, have a town retreat, and we could discuss some of these things.
I agree.
Okay?
Is there any other further business? Would someone like to entertain an adjournment?
I move that we adjourn.
Any
Second.
objection? Meeting adjourned. We'll take just 5 minutes before going into a work session for